I've got 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Yes.
Thank you for the generosity. Thanks for reminding me. We're holding on right on the things. Thank you. Right on time, Sheikh. Good morning, everyone. Well, you already know my name. And the data set that I have been working on for the Capstone project, it's hotel bookings, which took place back in 2015, mid of 2015, specifically to mid 2017. These are the points that is going to be covered by me, inshallah. First of all, I'll start with the context. I'll say who is this specifically for, target audience, which can be varied and also extended. The dataset overview, one problem statement that I've been working on, and the insights I found based on the problem statement, and finally, the limitations and recommendations. So let's start first with the context. So the analysis here examines booking data with behavioral data based on cancellations between city and resort hotels around the globe to identify the patterns that are affecting occupancy and also the revenue performance. My goal was to uncover what could be putting pressure on the operation and also the financial loss. So the target audience, who is this for, are investors, hotel managers or owners, also the hotel staff members, the marketeers, entrepreneurs, travel agencies, online booking websites, and finally, anyone from the hospitality sectors, VIP, and holding on board. So the data set overview, I've categorized them into 4 categories for your benefit. The core booking information, the guest basic demographics, which were so disappointing for me, unfortunately, the operational and service details, and finally, the financial and administrative data. The ones that are in green are the ones I were so possessive of, and I engaged more with it. I played a lot with it, but I didn't change anything with it. It actually took me a lot of time and kind of caused a lot of trouble with my life, sorry. The approach at the start was to explore the data, and I was too excited to find out more of the demographic information that leads to the behaviorographic information. This is very helpful for the creating something called customer persona. This is to identify some groups and to target effectively some groups from the marketing perspective. However, unfortunately, I had to change some of my approach because not everything that existed there in the data set was profoundly useful. So here's my problem statement after a very long time. Between 2015 and 2017, 47 of all the bookings were made online. Well, you may wonder, what does this have to do as an issue? Here's the issue. High cancellation rate, and within this specific segment, almost the same number or the same percentage have substantial financial loss. Well, that really upsets a lot of managers, and I'm here to help. So my objectives were the following: to explore all the cancellations patterns, if they existed or not, to measure the relationship between the lead time and also the cancellation risk, because I found that there was some kind of correlation, which I'll come later on. To compare the deposit, the market segment, and finally the source customer. There will be a bonus addition later on after I have explored the data. So this is the change of the approach. These are the specific things that were helpful for my data. The lead time, which is the booking time, the time spent for the days between the booking time and the arrival date. Secondly, we have the distribution channel and the marketing segment. I intersected them with the ones that were made online, the customer type, and finally the country. Here are the insights, so we don't lose a lot of time. So insight number one was to find out what is the relationship between the lead time and the cancel rate. The longer the booking lead time, the more cancellations we get. As you can see from here across the lines on the line chart, the less time spent in the lead time, which means the booking is very close. So they had a less cancellation compared to the ones which were in advance booked, maybe within a year or even 1 year ago. These are the total number of the bookings based on the categories for each month. So if they were booked between 1 to 2 months, maximum 3 months, they will have less cancellation rate. However, it still does not give a lot of details. However, the details are as follows. Before I move on with why, I'll move on with why this has existed. The main issue why we had a lot of online bookings back then was the no deposit policy. So you could imagine, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the 3 types of deposit, even some of the refundables were cancelled. However, doesn't make sense if someone can refund what they cancelled. It does make sense if someone will cancel because this is refundable, I'll get my money back. But what does it have to do with the non-refund and the no deposit? Why would someone cancel? Over here, the reason is obvious. The reason is obvious. They are giving flexible bookings with no deposit, so it's more likely to be cancelled. They don't take it a lot seriously, whether it's coming from the business background or even from existing customers, like normal people like me and you. However, those which are non-refundables had a large blocks, especially in groups and agency reservation. Now, if you are wondering why there is a no deposit, it's because during the 2015 and 2017, and even before that, even after that, the digital marketing played a big role here, which made a lot of people targeted, and maybe some of those targets have been kids who took their parents' smartphone. So they did not take it very seriously here. and this costs to have the bookings. I have all the flexibility, I can cancel before 24 and 48 hours, so this was one of the reasons here. Now, fortunately, I wanted to also dig deeper. This is according to the countries which had most of the bookings. The top source markets leading on Portugal, then Italy, Ireland, UK, and finally the Netherlands. I did not stop here. Alhamdulillah, I was fortunate to find some of the demographic and also behaviorographic information based on one of the 4-star hotels in Portugal. You may wonder, this is just one hotel. Well, what I cared most about during that era, 2015 and also 2018, on that data, the other data set, about the behavior and demographic. And I found out the following on deeper analysis. So because we have, we can take a closer look and, on the main source, and it showed distinct booking and spending behavior as well. So the numbers here were clearer than the numbers in the original data set that I have been looking for. Let's start off with the demographics. So according to the age, we can categorize them into 4 categories on the Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, and the Boomers. Taking the lead Gen X, and for the customers' origin country, these are the top 5 nationalities. So we have Spain on the lowest and French on the highest. I don't know if we should really count Portugal on that, but because some of them had business-to-business relationship rather than just business-to-consumers. Digging deeper into that, the other data set specifically market segmented every single one with their average spending per room and with their extra average spending. So I could have I was able to come up with the average total spending. But it varied because each has different services. The ones which come from business background or even for just group and leisure, they are different. Each of them have different features and different needs and demands. So to shortcut this, direct and aviation segments are the most valuable ones on average. And the group and travel agent bookings may be lower in spend, but they matter by volume. I was also able to create 4 specific customer persona type, along with their behavioral pattern and the suggestion to target them. I know some of you might be wondering, why 0? Well, this is just a tribute to Python, if you know what I mean. If not, then hi, Python. Finally, with all things said, there were limitations to both data sets, the original one and the one I located in Portugal. The correlation between the age, gender, occupation, and also income was one of the challenging things. Also the leading to the current and earlier trends. The hotel information was not visible at all. I at least wanted to categorize them based on their stars rating, or at least by their reviews. And both data sets had mid-year data. My recommendations are the following. So, to minimize and reduce the cancellation risk, there should be a partial deposits. Okay. There might be also an applicable strict deposit terms during the peak season or also the high demand periods. we need to consider non-refundable policies for the selected promotional offers, but also keep flexible, upgradable options where appropriate. And we can also use the segment-based pricing based on the ones I have just shared earlier on the average total spending, and design rather than just uniform whole package for just one forward. And to, this is just a bonus from me, to target the families specifically, we can look up on the public holidays for France, Dutch, UK, and Spain. This way, we'll be able to target the parent. The parents are the ones who want to coordinate the whole package with the trip of their family members. As in conclusion and remarks, and I'm sorry I took a bit over time, booking behavior, deposit policy, and also market segments are closely related to cancellation risk and also the revenue potential. However, hotels can improve performance by using targeted policies and better customer segmentation. With this, thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much, and I'm waiting for your questions now.
Any questions?
Just the, if we can go back to the slide where we're discussing the spend and
The average total spending,
Yeah,
this one. Yes.
what do you mean by spend here?
How much the target here or the group of those specific customers spend on average.
So you're talking about average spend?
Yes, yes. This is the total, which is not only spent by the room, but also by the extra. For example, the room service is an extra option. Also, when they use the restaurant to order some food, this is also another thing. They might ask for specific features in the room as well. This is also an extra feature. So anything extra is called extra spend.
So here, like for me, the part which was a bit confusing, I could not relate or link up the volume part. You have mentioned it, but I couldn't see it in the table. Where is it?
You mean the volume per
Yeah,
segment? Is okay, just a moment. It seems the file was not saved, just a moment. So you wanted per category, per segment?
yeah. So basically, like you mentioned that point.
If I have it per segment, it would take a lot of visuals.
Mhm.
However, to answer your questions, is it fine if I open the file? Yeah.
Like if you have it somewhere, that's fine as well.
I do have it.
The point I'm just mentioning is you made a reference to the data, but the data itself was not there. You could have included that as well, then it would have actually made more sense. Like you have done your analysis, you know it, but the audience does not know it, and they don't have something to link it up to be able to view that. Other than that, excellent effort and very well done.
Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you, Mahmoud.
That's all.
That's all.
Expected more questions. Thank you.